your man with the plan, will that always push?
What's going on, YouTube? How's everyone doing? Welcome back to the Duramax Diesel channel. Guys, we're about ready to go. Block is pretty much prepped. I had some doubts this morning because I grabbed the piston I swapped over out of the LOI and it looked different, right? So it looks different slightly. You know, it looks similar, it's same size, but it's got a few differences, you know? So we weighed them, and I had the rings, the piston rings on the one that's on the rod, and it was 4 ounces heavier with the rings. So I'm hoping we're not gonna snap my crankshaft in half. This is probably a really bad idea, guys, but I'm just, you know, we're just gonna send it. So, like I said, don't be like me. You should be measuring your pistons and your circles and holes and all this stuff. And, you know, it's, like I said, this is a budget build to get it back on the road. This is what, you know, they did back in, who knows when, probably no one ever did this. So, this motor's pretty, the block's pretty junk, guys. Like, it's, I mean, it's not bad, but it's not as bad as the other one, but, like, it's got some scoring. Like, it's not gonna last forever, and I know that. Like, that's why I'm using basically junk pistons and rods, because I didn't pay for them. You know, I had them. So, I know this isn't a full build. This is like half-ass fucking get my truck back on the road. But, with that being said, that's the idea, I guess. So, we are going to just keep going and get this motor together. I'm going to stuff the pistons and rods now, and then we'll work on the heads after that, because I got to install the studs, finish lapping the valves, which I know I did in an earlier video, but I got to finish that. But yeah, we might make some progress today, so we'll get started with that. Alright guys, so we are starting to install these rod bearings and bolts and all the goodies. So we're going to take our first rod here and take the cap off. And I got Molle Clevite bearings for this. They're the heavy duty ones. I don't know if it's really going to help anything. And just so you guys know, these rod caps are like one directional, so you can't mix and match. They're fractured rods. So if you look right there, they're all fractured and broken and all that stuff, so you can't really mix and match them. So we're going to clean these off real quick. Then we're going to take a set of our bearings here, and they can only go on one way. So there is a little notch right there. I don't know if you can see that raised part, but that sets in the notch on the rod. Just want to make sure everything's clean and out of there. Got a little bit of shit sitting in here. So now that that's cleaned out, you're going to take the bearing. You want it to be lined up. Should sit flush in there, and you do the exact same thing for your rod cap. So, and these, just so you know, these two little tabs face each other, I believe. Yeah, so they go towards each other. Alright, so good thing I checked, because these actually do have a directional for which way they can be installed, and I installed them backwards. So, we'll go over that. That's why it's always good to double check yourself. Nothing wrong with being wrong, I guess. So, this one says upper, so this one is going to go, actually wait a minute. Use an old rod for reference, you know. Anyway, just to make sure we don't mess anything up. So you can see the lower one has it off to the side where the cap has it notched in a little bit. I don't know if you can see that. So that's how I'm going to do it for these ones. I'm going to check the other ones too, but that's probably how we'll do them, just the way that way it matches. So the one that is notched, obviously the lower, I wasn't thinking the lower goes on the rod cap, upper goes on the rod. It makes sense, it works right, it looks right. So we got ARP bolts for the rod cap. So it says to lubricate the threads with the ARP lube, and then lubricate underneath the head, and make sure that you have enough clearance to clear the bolt all the way down, which we do. So we are going to at least get this one rod in and start assembling this motor. Alright guys, so this is a piston ring compressor. So you actually put it around the piston, you just tighten it with a little square tool in here, and it compresses the rings down. I don't know if it's tight enough, whatever. But so as you guys know, there's a little arrow indicating up and an arrow indicating forward. If we can focus. Probably need to tighten this ring compressor a little bit more. But anyways, what you're going to do is we're going to put some assembly lube around the edge of the cylinder wall, and then put some assembly lube on the bearing. Make sure the crank is nice and clean, which it is. I cleaned it. So we will drop that piston in. So the piston is down in there, looking good, and now we are down here. I don't know if I can get this set up or not. Put some more assembly lube on the cap. And before we do this, we gotta prep the bolts, just that way we have at least one ready to go in. So rip our ARP assembly lube packet open, and we're gonna put some on the threads. So you just need a light coat on the threads, then underneath the bolt cap, I guess, if you will, where like a washer would go almost. That is the other spot that needs assembly lube. So it should look like that. And then we will take our cap, line it up the right way. There you go, guys. One rod is installed. Obviously we still need to torque it, which we will do after, but we got one piston and rod installed. So I had to charge my camera real quick. We're gonna just keep throwing them in, so same thing for all of them, and then we'll torque them after. Alright guys, so quick little update here. We have every piston in the block, or piston and rod. Now I just want you guys to know, like, I said it before and I can't reiterate this enough. I am not doing this legit. Like, this is, it's probably gonna blow up, honestly. But what I'm saying is this is not how I would build a motor that was getting built. This is like an extreme budget build that I'm trying to spend like no money on. So I've spent like $800 to put an engine together, alright? So it's like, this is like extremely low budget, okay? So if it blows up, I have another motor, okay? I'm gonna be gone for 4 months. So this is a fun project that I was trying to show you guys, engine assembly. I know I skipped some, and I will be doing a built motor down the road. But I'm getting a lot of comments of you guys like, oh hey, this and that, like, you're not skipping this, are you? You're not skipping that. Yes, I'm skipping some things that, you know, maybe it'll run for a year. Maybe it'll run for a day. Maybe it won't run at all. You know, it's maybe that LOY piston I use with the LB7 pistons will blow up. You know, I don't know, guys. This is a trial and error. This is like, what can you do in a sticky situation with no money, right? So yes, I'm doing a build after. This is for fun, for YouTube, for just shits and giggles, really. Because I'm gonna drive it for what, 2 weeks? That's it. So I just want you guys to know that, like, I understand I'm skipping steps, but it's not costing me any money. When it blows up, you know, hopefully it doesn't, you know, break some parts that I paid for, you know. Ooh. So we have another motor. We will be getting it bored, honed, torque deck, like everything you can think of to a motor, like everything. So that motor, this one, will be a full on like bored, align, honed, balance block. Okay? So I just want you guys to know, like, I understand, like, this is not the right way to do this. I'm putting it together so I can have a truck, okay? Now that that's cleared, we're going to flip it over and we're going to go over torquing all the lower parts of the motor. Which, the ARP, so I looked up SoCal Diesel and they did it by angle. The ARP sheet says if you don't have a stretch gauge, torque the bolts to 95 foot-pounds. So what we'll probably do is we'll do 3 steps to 95 foot-pounds. So what that means is we'll do like 30 foot-pounds on all of them, or on 2, 60, and then 95. And I'm going to do it 3 times over, so it's going to take a while. But I'm doing this to pre-stretch the bolts for any reason. I have the ARP lube on the threads and on the underneath the bolt head themselves, so I'm going to do it 3 times over. And that way, you know, we don't, they're pre-stretched and ready to go, so we don't have to retorque them or anything. Alright guys, we're going to start doing that. We're running out of daylight here, but I want to get the heads on this motor today, or close to at least. Alright guys, so we have all the bolts torqued to 95 foot-pounds. We have the oil pickup tube on, which I torqued all these bolts to 18 foot-pounds. That's the closest, what I guess I could find for in the Haynes manual. Prepping the oil pan to go back on, guys. I'm going to just keep going. I don't know. I'm just going to keep going and going until I decide I need to stop. So maybe this motor will be like 70% done tonight. I don't know. We're just going to keep going. So oil pan on next, and then you got to RTV it too. So you basically RTV inside, which I don't really like this, but you RTV inside here, or you can do it right on here. So you're gonna want to go around the front of the bolts, and then through the groove, around the front of the bolts, and then through the groove, around the front of the bolts, and through the groove, all the way around, and hope and pray that seals. So I'm gonna go a little extra on the RTV, but it should be fine. So this is how the factory does it. It's literally first time the motor's been pulled apart and it had RTV on it. I just cleaned it all off. So we're gonna keep going. It's gonna get late. We're gonna bring the spotlight out and keep working, guys, because I'm just running out of time. So this is the project. This is what's got to get done. So we'll keep going. Alrighty guys, as you can see, we have everything kind of buttoned up here. We didn't get to the heads, but all the oil pans are on, or both oil pans are on. The full rotating assembly is in, torqued, ready to go. Sorry this video kind of died off, I guess. Had a family emergency, so I couldn't, you know, I was kind of busy and dealing with that. So the motor's there for now. So tomorrow we'll start, you I guess start getting the heads prepped and the last few things for the heads and get the studs in and gaskets on and everything all cleaned up, ready to go. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and like I said, again, I know this is not 100% the right way. Is it gonna work? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? You know, this is like more of a test than it's an expensive test, but it's not that expensive. So if you guys like this video, drop a thumbs up. If you're new here, please subscribe. Thank you for watching the Duramax Diesel channel. We're gonna get this motor running, and hopefully it doesn't grenade itself and send the piston through my twin turbo kit. We'll see though. Take it easy, guys. Have a good night, and we'll see you later.